Yo, what's up guys, Aiden here. So today in this video, I'm going to show you how I made $1,300 trading stocks. I traded Bull, B-U-L-L, and I traded that as a first green day bounce. If you don't know what that is, as always, please go and watch the video linked in the description below. Also, if you've not watched my last video on how I made $3,000 in 30 minutes, perhaps consider watching that first, as there's some similarities between that trade and what I did today. Let's get into it. All right, cool. So Bull, B-U-L-L. As always, let's start with the daily chart. So daily chart, Bull is, I'm guessing most people watching this will know that Webull is a broker. I actually have a Webull account. I don't use it. I should use it because I use E-Trade, but I just need to fund it and make the move over there really. Just because it allows trading at like 4 a.m. as opposed to E-Trade at 8 a.m. But anyway, regarding today's trade, this almost looks like a SPAC, just like floating around 10. Yeah, kind of this came on my radar on this day where it had this big day one move. Some volume did come in the day before. You can see down here, it began the day before. I think after hours it had a run, and the next day obviously gapped up and had a big push. So this as a day one move is pretty strong. At its height it was up 500% and it closed 374% up, so it held its gains really well. Pretty good strong 1 day runner, which makes me inclined to look for a bounce on something like this. Also, the market's quiet at the minute, and so when you do have this sort of this isn't an exceptionally strong stock or something like that, but when the market's quiet and you have a stock that is pretty strong, it kind of, it's more, there's going to be more eyes on it because there's not enough, there's not many that other things to trade. So that sort of gave me a bit more conviction as to, okay, this might have a bounce. That being said, it wasn't straightforward for me because I didn't. Well, let's get into it. So these lines that I drew on before, including these trend lines, before I took the trade, and they worked absolutely perfectly. So I'm going to explain how I drew these lines on, because it is the key to this trade and what allowed me to build my thesis in such sort of minute detail. So obviously the big picture is first green day bounce. So, but they all trade slightly differently. So it's analyzing the chart is key. So this support line. So at this point we can see here 35. It's down over 50% from its highs. Okay, so that's a good solid retracement. So is there the chance now that it's going to be some bottoming action and that it's going to bounce? So when I saw this, I looked at this morning. Okay, I was looking at this. I'm in UK, so I can watch it at this time. So I saw this action here, okay, after hours, and I thought, okay, let me see what that bottom is based off. Okay, I can see the big retracement. Now if we go back, we can see here it's coming to this level here, which, okay, that's something else that I find of importance. But even more so than that, this is the minute chart. If we look at here, how it has this push and it comes down and holds this level here, and this push on this candle and this candle is where some significant volume begins to come in, and then it comes down and it holds that level. So that was quite important for me to see that the volume, the increase in volume on this candle, because it helped me to believe that this level would hold. So now I'm basing this level not only off here and off this important hold, but also the big retracement from the highs and then the hold of this level. Okay, so that was how I got my clear risk level identified. Next, I looked to see, now, if we jump to Arrow quickly, so go back and watch this video if you've not seen it, guys. This was an absolute beauty of a trade. If we go to the intraday chart, we can see that this first green day bounce on this day was a result of this trend break here. So I was very on the ball in regards to looking for a trend with this stock. And I saw 2 trend lines that were important. Let's get rid of these so you can see them. So I'll draw them on. I could see that I looked at it and thought, well, there definitely is stuff going on here, but it looks a little bit crowded and not clean. But I managed to identify 2 trends. The first one being this. Okay, it's touching here, 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 and here. Okay, so I thought, okay, if it breaks, which it started to break here, so I thought, okay, this could run. But I thought, hang on a minute, there are some peaks above here. So let's see another trend if we can identify. And we can see there is another trend there. Okay. It does, it's not exactly clean, but we can see that is what, that there is a trend line there. And we can see now when we go to the pre-market action, how important identifying those levels were. Because we can see here it popped, began to push and then hit that trend line, remembering I already have these trend lines drawn on, and then it began to come down. And this is where I got in. 36.70 is my entry, and I was going to cut, obviously, on my risk here. Now, one of the reasons why I started loading up here as opposed to down here was because I felt that this trend line would hold as opposed to the lower day. There's not that much in that, to be honest with you. There's only a few percent, but obviously the better the entry, the more patience I'm going to have. But the reason that this I sort of remembered, I guess, or trusted this trade line was because of what Arab did pre-market, and that was when the market opened. It was holding this trend for multiple days, okay, and then when it broke it came down, tested that level, didn't test lower day, tested the trend line, and then it ran. I'm not going to go too much into that Arab trade today, but again, go and watch that video if you want more detail on it. So yeah, again, this is what's happened this morning. It's come up, it's popped, it's hit the top trend line, come down, hit the bottom trend line, and then it's ran. Okay, so I got in here. Now, in regards to sales, these were my price targets. I didn't really feel it was going to get past this price target, to be honest with you, just because the market's so quiet. I did pretty well with my sales. I sold some here, I sold some here, and my best sale was 50.3, I think it was something like that, or 50.22, I think it was. I didn't have much shares to sell here, but it was good that I just left some on, because normally I'm all out for my profit target, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And yeah, overall made 1,300 on this trade. I didn't particularly like how this traded. It kind of felt like a slightly larger float than the 2.5 million or something that Dilution Tracker has. Probably that's because, the price of the stock's so high, to be fair. But for me, I kind of like, if you watch Arab again, the market opens, bang, explosion, right? Now, Bull didn't do that, and again, partly because the float is higher, it just moves different. Sorry, the price is higher, perhaps. It just moves so differently. So it was a lot of patience for me to hold through that. I didn't like this sort of. It was grinding up, but I just like these explosive moves when they happen. Kind of had that in my mind, and so yeah, ended up taking off a bit too much too soon. But overall, really, really pleased with how I traded this one, or like almost stuck to my plan perfectly. So yeah, I hope there's some value in this for you. If you've got to the end of this video, well done. You're definitely going to be developing an edge, because some of the first green day trades I feel like I'm sharing, I think there's, I'm making money on them. There's a lot of, I feel, value in that. But I checked the analytics on my YouTube studio, and not many people are getting this far in the video. So if you're getting this far, congratulations. I think you've got the dedication to, I guess, make some money. All right. Cheers, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.